Hey, how you doing today? I am Taquila Coleman. In today's video, we're going to talk about why did God choose you for your spouse? Many of you are trying to figure out why did God choose this particular person to be my spouse, right? And I'm going to show you in the book of Esther one of the reasons why God chose you for this person, okay? And vice versa. Why did God choose that person for you? Okay. When we begin to understand that this thing is more than marriage, okay? Yes, God wants you, He want to bring you into a God-ordained marriage. He want you to have someone you could do life with. God has given us, He's partnering us with people who have what we need and want, okay? But God is all about purpose. He's all about bringing his will to pass on earth, and he uses people to do that. Okay, now let's go to the book of Esther, and I want you to turn to Esther chapter 4. Now, in Esther chapter 3, um, Haman, it talks about Haman's plot to destroy the Jews. Okay, now Haman, he was very hateful and evil towards Mordecai. There was some jealousy going on. He couldn't stand Mordecai. Okay, he hated him so much to where he put in a death decree over all the Jews. Instead of taking Mordecai out, he was like, no, I want to take out all the Jews. And see, the Lord gave Mordecai, I don't know if he was aware of it, but the Lord basically gave him the strategy, right? When he was telling Esther, don't reveal to the people that you are a Jew. He kept telling her, don't reveal that. Keep it to yourself, right? That was a strategy. That was wisdom God placed on the inside of Mordecai, okay? Because if Esther would have revealed that she is a Jew, it would have, I don't think this story, I don't even think the book of Esther would be in here, okay? It would have played out a whole different way, okay? But in Esther chapter 4, this is when Esther hear about Mordecai distress because he heard about the death decree Haman put in over the Jews. So in Esther chapter 4, let's start reading at verse 12. It say, when Esther's words were reported to Mordecai, he sent back this answer because, let me start right here. When you go up, um, let me see if I can find it. When you go up, probably to like verse 11, Esther is giving Mordecai reasons why she can't approach the king. You know, she's saying, there's a law in place, a certain amount of time has to pass before you can, approach the king. So here come Mordecai's reply in verse 12. When Esther's words were reported to Mordecai, he sent back this answer. Do not think that because you are in the king's house, you alone of all the Jews will escape. Let's stop right here. This is the first time when you read this, he go ahead because he could have just said, don't think because you are in the king's house and you were made queen. He didn't say that. He said, do not think that because you are in the king's house, you alone of all the Jews. He's reminded her of who she is. He's like, don't you forget, you are a Jew. I probably told you to be quiet and don't reveal it to people, but don't you forget, even though you are in the palace, even though you have been made queen, don't you forget who you are, Esther. You are a Jew. And this demonic decree, this death decree that Haman put in, also applies to you. This is what Mordecai is saying to her. So he said, do not think that because you are in the king's house, you alone of all the Jews will escape. Verse 14. For if you remain silent at this time, relief and deliverance for the Jews will arise from another place. But you and your father's family will perish. And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this? Now, he said a lot. Let's break this apart. One of the purpose of why God chose Esther for the king was because God wanted to use Esther to bring relief and deliverance for the Jews. This is one of the reasons why God chose Esther. He said, I want to use her. So he put his favor on Esther. She was the one who won the king's favor, right? God said, I'm going to use Esther. Okay. I'm going to pair you with the king. I need you in this position because the king, yes, God put him in that position of authority, but the king is surrounded by Haman. The king, because he's close to Haman and he think Haman his boy, he think Haman, has his best interest at heart. The king can't see that Haman is on assignment from the enemy. And so God, because he's a merciful God, he's a good father, he's like, I gotta pair my daughter up with the king so that she's in this position. She's his wife, right? And but also she's in this position to bring about this relief and deliverance to the Jews. I hope you're following me here. And here's what Mordecai said. He said, for if you remain silent at this time, relief and deliverance for the Jews will arise from another place. He said, but you and your father's family will perish. He said, now, and who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this. He's letting her know this is why God chose you. This is why God put you in that seat, Esther. This is why God paired you with the king. This is one of the reasons why God allowed you to find favor in the king's eyes. It was so that you can rise up for such a time as this. It was so that God can use you to be the voice for the people to bring relief and deliverance. If you're wondering why did God choose my spouse for me, could it be that God know he looked at your life and he said, you know what? This one right here, I see their heart and they will do my will. So I gotta pair them with this person. I gotta connect them with this individual because there's a Haman that's gonna rise up. But if I put my son or my daughter, in this seat, in this position, I know that they are going to rise up and do my will. I know that I can use them to bring relief and deliverance to my people. So, for many of you, God has chosen your spouse simply because He want to use you or even your spouse. This can go both ways. He want to use the two of you to bring relief and deliverance to the people. It's about justice. It's about deliverance. It's about doing what's right. It's about taking a stand for the people and exposing the enemy. So I want to just put that in you, and just help you to understand, God he's about purpose. And these God-ordained marriages is about purpose. Yes, he wants you to have someone to do life with. But these God-ordained marriages is about purpose, God's purpose. He want to use you to bring forth his purpose on earth. And this is one of the reasons why he has chosen you for your spouse. God already know what position that he's going to put your spouse in. He already know what position he's going to put you in. This is why he's pairing us up. This is why he has chosen you for your spouse and your spouse for you. It is to fulfill the purpose of the Lord. It is to bring relief and deliverance to the people. And he know you are the one who would do it. He know it. You the one who had that obedient heart, just like David. You know, God told Samuel, I didn't choose any of those brothers of David's. He said, man, look at the appearance. I look at the heart. God was looking at the heart. Who would do my will? Who would say yes to me? Who would be obedient to me? Who fear me? He was looking at the heart. And that's what God is doing with many of you. He's looking at your heart. And he know, I'm going to put this one, I'm going to put you with this person because, you know, God already know what position he going to put your spouse in or you in, but he's looking at their heart. This one will do my will. This one will take a stand for the people. This one will, speak on behalf of the people. This one will be a voice. This one, will bring about the will of the Lord on earth. Okay. So with that, I am Taquila Coleman. I'll talk to you real soon. Take care.